Toa Samoa are taking on the Pacific Bowl, up against New Zealand first, and also taking on Tonga. And we're here to tell you why they're going to win this tournament. Now, with me today, I've got a legend, a Samoan legend, some of the comments said. A man who tipped them to win 2022's World Cup, and they nearly did it. Mate, are you sticking with that tip, and are you backing Samoa here?
What kind of question is that? Like, the boys in blue are getting it done. They've been building towards getting a premiership of some sort or title, as it were. They didn't do it last year against England. They nearly went all the way in 2022, and we'll get to that in just a second because there are some hot topics from that 2022 World Cup that are relevant for this tournament. And they've picked the team to do it. And here is that team. I mean, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck at the back, one of the best fullbacks of all time, if you don't mind me saying. Okay. Then you've got Murray Taulagi and Brian To'o on the wings, meter eaters, just absolute bruisers. They're not going to be tackled. Like the whole tournament.
I have to ask you a question. Yep. Are you going to keep the Sunnies on for the whole episode?
Probably not. No. But you got Isaac Tungo, 3-time premiership winner, in there with Dean Mariner, who just won a premiership at the Broncos.
Winners win.
Yep. Now, there's no Stephen Crichton there, but that doesn't matter. He's Stephen Crichton. Who's that?
Best centre in the comp.
Don't even need him to beat this flimsy Tongan side and terrible New Zealand side.
You can't argue against Tonga before my Tonga video.
No, we got Blaze Taulagi as well, who's one of, if not the most promising young half in the competition, excluding guys like Isaiah Katoa, who play for Tonga. And then Jerome Luai.
Wow.
Now, we know what Jerome Luai did last World Cup. He took the competition over. Yep. Absolutely destroyed teams and rallied the team back from a 66-6 drubbing at the hands of England. And after that, they counted them out. And Jerome Luai was the lightning rod that went straight through that Samoan team and took them all the way to the competition final. And then this front row rotation. I'm going to mention the guys that are on the bench. You got Josh Papali'i, Payne Haas, Molo, and Terrell May. Like, is that a front row? I don't even know if I'm more scared of 4 front rowers in my life. It's definitely a foursome that I will not be running straight at all. And I just don't see how they're going to be on the back foot in any of these games that they're playing. You got Jazz Tavanga, who's great filling in at 9 there. Yep. Yeah, and Harris Tavita is the man to replace him coming off the bench. You know, little 30 minutes from Harris Tavita. Don't mind that. Then you got Jeremiah Nene, who's the best second rower in the league at going after the high ball.
Okay. I was worried there for a second.
Oh, yeah. You thought I was going to say best second rower in the league.
Because Tonga have the 2 best.
He's the best second rower of the league at the Cowboys. And then you got Jaden Sewer.
What about Kyle?
Yeah, no, it's Jeremiah Nene. And then we got Jaden Sewer and Junior Paulo rounding out the 13 there. Junior Paulo also another scary guy that I probably don't want to run at as well. A little on the older side now, but it's still quite serviceable, if you ask me. And then Simi Sasangi is actually on the bench there as well, who had a great season this year for the Raiders. I thought he was supremely underrated. And
a bit of a try-scoring freak as well.
He'll probably get picked up by someone else. Yeah. You're probably expecting a bit more, but Ricky's been able to get the best out of him this year.
Yeah, no, it's a mean roster.
Tell me who stops this team.
It's lethal.
Tell me who stops this team.
Look, just for everyone watching along, to set context, there's a bit of rivalry here because I'm pro Tonga in this tournament, 100%. Burgz is on Samoa, so you're going to get a bit of bias from Burgz here.
Doesn't know what he's talking about.
You had your great success after 2022, and you just think you're all that, right?
Yeah, hey.
Back when we were a tiny channel,
they nearly went all the way, mate. They nearly did it for the boys,
and they'll nearly go all the way again this time.
And there were nearly barbecues had all across Western Sydney that I would have had to split time to go to. You know, half an hour at one, half an hour at
my way, mate. I mean, we are in Parramatta right now. We're not that far off.
No,
but it's a good side. It's a good side. Like Mariner's lethal, like you talked about. We'll talk about all these guys, but Blaze next to Luai is interesting because that last World Cup, Luai was at that age that Blaze is at now.
Yeah.
And Luai was fantastic. So maybe Blaze, takes that leap again and dominates here. And, Luai.
Can he be the controlling 7?
That's the tough thing here, right? Because Jazz isn't really that guy at 9. Like he's a bit more of a physical sort of guy. RTS is a very pure fullback. Like he's not that big playmaker. So Luai is going to have a bit of pressure on him. But the forward pack, like you said, like Payne Haas, we'll talk about him in a sec. It's just so good. But I'm going to ask you the question, man, because you're seeming very confident here. 2022 World Cup. You called it before. You're calling it again. Why do you think they're going to win?
Well, these guys have really stepped up. These three were the pillars of that run that saw them go all the way to the competition final. The guy in the middle, for me, though, is the one who has to step up once again. Luai, he seems to grow a second leg when he puts on that...
grow a second leg?
A third leg. It's going to be a fourth leg. we never know. There's multiple legs.
Normally? We're not cutting that out.
Well, no. When he plays for the Tigers, he has one leg. Right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he actually gets his second leg back.
He was damn good in 2022, though.
Yeah.
Like, damn good.
So he finished the competition with the most try assists in that tournament. And then his little mate out on the wing, playing for the Penrith Panthers, Brian To'o, he's just a meter-eating machine. He actually led the competition in meters run as well as the post-contact meter side of things, outrunning guys like Joey Manu. I just think that this Samoan team, minus the fact that we don't have Stephen Crichton lining up for them this year due to injury, has one of the biggest chances to do something that has never been done in their history. One, beat New Zealand. They've never beaten New Zealand in their history. And two, go on to win a title, win some form of competition, whether it be the bowl or the cup. Like we're not too sure.
Yeah.
But I think that this is their time. You know what I mean? They've been building to this for a couple of years. I think Tonga were that team, and they just aren't that team now.
Yeah, look, no wins in 5 games against New Zealand is tough. I'm with you. I'm backing them to win that one. But why do you think they can beat New Zealand this time then? Like, what's changed?
Well, I just think the team that New Zealand have picked also doesn't lend itself to being competitive in a competition like this. I actually think New Zealand will finish last. I think Tonga will beat New Zealand as well. I'm probably overrating Tonga and Samoa in this, and no doubt New Zealand will probably come out and have like a nice... they always do it. Like New Zealand always perform whenever you least expect them to. Like they beat Australia.
When they ran out Isaac John.
Before Madge was taking the Broncos to
out of reserve grade. No disrespect to Isaac John, by the way, but the selection was just so shocking.
Well, it's kind of like that now. Dylan Brown was playing reserve grade, wasn't he?
Kieran Foran called off his retirement for another few months to play in this tournament. They're
struggling. They're on struggle street.
Yeah.
This New Zealand team. Well, it probably goes to show why we're not doing a video about them. Maybe there's not enough hype, not enough interest from players too. Yeah. I think Jaram Hughes, well, he played in that grand final. If he really wanted to play for New Zealand, he could probably play in these games. I'm just saying. He played in that grand final.
Yeah, okay. He's a massive loss. But no, I'm with you. I think Samoa win this, and I've got a bit of a different reasons to why I think it happens.
They picked Nelson. Nelson, didn't even play.
He's trying out for a new contract right now.
Play this year.
Let me hit you with this. Because this guy is a man mountain. Payne Haas, he was unstoppable in 2025. One of the best forward seasons ever. Mm-hmm. If he scored a try in the grand final, it might have been called the best season ever by anyone. Like, he was just absolutely unstoppable. And you cast your mind back to that game against Penrith the week before the grand final. No Pat Carrigan there. You got Smoothie starting at lock, who normally doesn't play too many minutes. He's there next to Jensen. I think it was Corey Pakes at hooker. Like, it was really a bit of a no-frills forward pack without Carrigan, and he absolutely dominated, playing nearly 80 minutes and just crushing it. Look across the year too, the stats were insane. 70 offloads, number 1 in the league. 1,600 post-contact meters, number 2 in the league. And you got 130 tackle busts, 3rd in the league. And number 1 of all forwards by a country mile. This guy is the best forward in the game and arguably the best player in the game. And I think this addition for Samoa is just massive. Because last World Cup, I thought, how are they going to go in terms of, making the meters there and dominating that field position? And, Luai's kicking game was a question I had. He was fantastic, by the way. Mm-hmm. But you add Payne Haas into this mix, and you've got Brian To'o doing what he does. You've got RTS on the back of a great season. They're going to be great in terms of field position. And do they have the strike to convert that? Fuck yes, they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're going to be awesome.
Yeah. I just find it very interesting that you made my own point for me. Thanks for doing that.
I'm a Payne Haas guy, bro.
Yeah, I know you're a Payne Haas guy.
I'm a fantasy guy, so I love Payne Haas.
How can you get away from this addition? It's so massive.
It's huge.
From the moment that he has made this decision to not play for Australia and join Samoa for this competition, there's been such buzz and hype around it. Then they go on this dream run, the Broncos, to win the grand final this year, and he is the pillar of that. Like, Reece Walsh is the paintbrush. This guy is the easel. Like, what are you trying? It's it. He is there supporting everything. He's there supporting everything.
Soft season content at its peak.
Exactly. But he is the guy that stepped up when Carrigan was out in a must-win game.
Yep.
And just ruthlessly put the Panthers back in their place.
He's a monster.
The 4-time premiership winning Panthers, he took them all on. And let's be honest, like that forward rotation with Carrigan out looked pretty dismal. Like
on paper, it was really bad.
I don't love Ricky. I'm not a big fan of Ricky. Piacora's still finding himself. I think Hetherington was there. Tolte was on the bench. You got Smoothie and Pakes and a lot of these guys that
With respect to those guys, they did play well in that game. But on paper, it was Payne Haas and not that much else.
Exactly. Yeah. That's my point. Xavier Willison scored a pretty lucky try in that game.
Against Penrith too, by the way, who have Leota, who have Yo, who have Liam Martin, who have Mitch Kenny,
Lindsay Smith,
who have Lindsay Smith.
People rate Lindsay Smith.
I just named an entire forward pack of guys who are representative level, right? Exactly. So Payne Haas, he was the guy.
And again, who's going to stop this man in this type of tournament? He wanted to play for Samoa. He obviously is going to have to prove to his critics as to why he made that decision.
What critics? Who's criticizing Payne Haas?
People like Buzz Rothfield. Oh. No, seriously, first of all, he needs to go and retire, please.
Don't do this. But we're not going
I'm just saying, he seriously, some of the takes, man, are dead set ridiculous. But for him to criticize why he would want to play for Samoa over Australia, but then also want to play for the Blues. I don't care. I want him to play for the Blues. I want him to play for the Blues.
They're both blue jerseys. Yeah. I see no problem with it. Yeah. So no, I'm all for. By the way, I think guys should play with whoever they want.
Think this is so huge. It's like when Jason Taumalolo, back when he was absolutely the best forward in the competition.
He was,
After him deciding to go play for Tonga, that's the level that we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Payne Haas is the best forward in the game. And he said, no, I don't want to play for Australia. I want to play for my heritage. And again, it's another layer of people that he wants to do well for. There's family ties to it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's his heritage.
There's an added layer to it. Let's talk about this 1-2 punch here as well, because it's going to be absolutely dynamic. So you got Terrell May here.
And again,
there's a few things I like about this, right? Terrell May named on the bench. You know what that says to me? It says we're not going to see 75-minute Terrell May, tackle bot Terrell May. We're going to see explosive 45, 50 minutes Terrell May, score a try maybe, the offloads out of the bag, all of that on show in this tournament. But Terrell May, number 3 in offloads in the league. So he got 1st and 3rd in the league in the front row there for Samoa. 66 offloads this year. And 2nd in tackles, which I don't expect to be replicated in this tournament. So I think we see Terrell May showing a different side of himself to what we saw for the Tigers this year. And I think he's going to be very influential on these results.
A real breakout year for him. And you'd probably say that, he showed a lot of flashes of that potential last year at the Roosters. And you're right, playing 70, 75 minutes of the game, it's just ridiculous.
It's too much. But he did it. Yeah. Respect to him. He went out and did it. And he worked harder than anyone.
Yeah, I think a positive thing for him is that Benji's not going to be his coach during this during this little Pacific Championship. So he's going to get that time. What you want to see is those bruising runs from him. And I think actually when people were questioning why he wasn't getting picked for New South Wales.
Let's say it was Laurie Daly.
Yeah, when he wasn't getting picked for New South Wales, it actually raised the question, and I think it was tossed around a little bit, is that he doesn't run hard enough. And I looked into that, and I think he was actually outside the top 50 in terms of post-contact meters. And that's not something you're used to seeing from a guy who's so big.
Yep.
And he's clearly very athletic, very fit. He wasn't using his size for the way that you would expect a Nelson to run, or the way Payne Haas uses his size to just dominate the tackle.
And he was
hitting and spinning, looking for those offloads. And you'd argue that maybe he was padding his stats a little bit, but what he is doing is extremely skillful as well. There's not a lot of props in the game that can do that.
I would counter by saying that he transformed that Tigers forward pack. They were nothing. They were 3-time wooden spooners. He came in, Luai came in. I think Terrell May was more influential than Luai this year for the Tigers. I thought he really transformed what they were doing.
Absolutely.
But 2nd in tackles, 1,000 tackles this year. No prop is on the list.
Blake Brayley.
No prop is on the list, let alone 2nd place. It's absolutely obscene that he made that many tackles. So I just think it's a work rate thing. He is having to do so much work in defense, and the Tigers were losing a few games that the attack probably just didn't get that primary energy. And I think in this, we're going to see him say, hey, you know what? This is what I'm capable of. And everyone's going to realize, oh, wow, he's actually super explosive. Like for the Roosters, we saw him score doubles. We saw him, cracking out tries. And I think next year he will drop back the minutes too. I think this is going to be the tournament that's going to be pointed to when people explain why that happens. But let's keep ripping through here because I want you to talk about this. The back line, you talked about Brian Toa. You talked about Stephen Crichton, who's not going to be there. How confident are you in this back line, and do you think they can get it done?
Supremely confident.
Yep.
I'll agree in saying that you missed Crichton a little bit during that 2022 World Cup. He was their leading point
more
scorer.
Than a little bit, but yeah.
He was their leading point scorer. So I'm wondering where the goal kicking goes in this tournament. They don't have Milford, who is also a recognised goal kicker. And he also led the team for kicking as well. So Luai's going to have to step up in that department. But from the back five, I think Mariner, for me, stepping into the shoes this year of guys like Cobbo and Arthurs who weren't really offering what Madge was looking for. And we remember Mariner when he started, and I think you said this as well, he was replacing Herbie Farnworth. And he was really fragile to start with. Like he didn't have the kind of contact you expected, or wasn't really running that hard or backing himself.
Herbie too, who's the most physical. Yeah, not most physical center in the comp for sure.
Yeah, big playmaker.
One of the most physical ball runners in general, though.
Yeah. And to show the way that he stepped into this season towards the back end and shifting from left to right wing. And I think he is an out-and-out winger, and he's going to be most likely playing center here. But they've got good backup in guys like Terrell May, who's also a meter eater and can be a bruiser as well. I just think that this back five are virtually unstoppable. And then you get to the front row and they do the exact same thing. I just don't see where Samoa are going to be playing off the back foot. Like, I think they might concede a few tries. I think defensively, Mariner's not the best on an edge.
He's next to
I don't necessarily trust it, but you've got to also have the craft of guys like, I think Katoa is the most crafty half they're going to have against them.
There are some halves that you talked about, like Nanai, fantastic in attack, not the best defender. Blaze was second in the comp in missed tackles this year. And Mariner, like you said, lethal, absolutely lethal, but defensively, they're going to have to score a lot of points to be confident in their ability.
Yeah, but I think no one's going to tackle them. Like,
valid.
Speed, like bruising.
So I'm not
runs,
disagreeing with that. I'm just saying they're not going to win 10-6. Like, it's
no, I agree. But the thing is, I look at the halves pairings that they're probably going to go up against, and I look at their form this year. Outside Katoa, who is obviously a good player now, and he's established himself as a very good player. The halves that they're going up against, Kieran Foran, Dylan Brown, like, where's the creativity that's going to be able to stump them and score more points than them?
I think Tonga, man. Like, we'll talk about Tonga. We'll talk about Tonga video, but Isaiah Katoa and Isaiah Yongi, I think are going to be fantastic together. And you throw in, the explosives on the edges there. Leo Hopewadi at fullback most likely, but there's Tolu Kola floating around as well. I personally would put him at fullback. I know it's controversial, but we'll talk about.
I don't think it's controversial at all. I agree with you.
We'll talk about Tonga later, but they're in a good spot. I agree, and I'll just throw some stats at you too. RTS top 5 in the comp for run meters this year, so over 4,000 run meters. Mariner led second place in the comp in half breaks. So just constantly creating those little half opportunities, and didn't even play the whole season too.
But it's one element of his game that got more dangerous was his tackle breaking ability. But then he always had the speed to be able to make himself threatening to begin with.
So give him.
So if you're worried about having to try and tackle him as well as trying to stop him from running around you, then it becomes a bit more of a what do I do scenario as a defender.
Yep. Yeah, and there's so many guys around him you have to double team as well. So you're kind of stuffed. And Luai brings the running game. And it's going to be tough.
And then you got Brian, who just ducks under tackles all the time.
Wondering
good luck
with that. And RTS.
And then Murray Talangi is probably one of the most skillful wingers in the competition, I would say.
Mate, great finisher as well. Look, that's Samoa for this tournament, mate. Any last words here on Samoa? Obviously, got New Zealand in this game. I'm tipping Samoa to win it. I think it's going to be pretty close. I'm going to go Samoa 20-16.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to back Samoa to get their first win over New Zealand. I think we talked about that at length last time they played them. It was a 50-0 thumping that they copped. But they've also got a better record against Tonga over the last 6 games they've
Stop
played
roasting
them.
Tonga. Just stick
Just
to New
saying,
Zealand. Man.
over the last 6 games that they've played them, they've got a better record.
You just wait for my Tonga video, bro. Like, it's gonna be.
I'll be waiting. I'm gonna.
I'm not anti-Samoa. All right? I respect the team they've built.
No, but Samoa are going to go undefeated in this competition and just wipe the floor and wrap up the Pacific Cup, and they'll be drinking some ice cold beers out of it.
We'll be there for sure. Combank Stadium is the final.
Yep.
So, mate, I'm keen
You're
to
heading
go
down there.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's a Combank, to tell you the truth.
They always put it there.
I think that's maybe because of a lot of Western Sydney contingent.
Yeah, I mean, we're a
that
kilometer
Islander,
from
yeah.
there right now. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
it's local for us.
I kind of agree with, I think it was Chad Townsend and Josh Mansell that actually said that they should maybe take it to New Zealand, or hypothetically, I wouldn't mind seeing like a Suncorp. I feel like they've played a few finals here at Combank, but I'm excited to go to it too. So,
Broughton, your score prediction?
I'm going to go Samoa 26-10.
Wow.
I think that New Zealand, I just don't see the creativity there for me, and I think they're a little bit feeble on the edges.
Statement win there. Guys, let us know in the comments what your prediction is. Do you think Samoa's going to win this whole tournament? Do you back Tonga? Do you back New Zealand? Are you jumping on Cook Islands, Fiji, or PNG instead? Let us know in the comments. Thanks, as always, for jumping along. Burgz, thanks for jumping on too. Appreciate you. See you, everyone.